Hello, this is Dylan Miller on a show called Daily Dose of Dylan. I am on Spotify and Google Podcasts. Today I will be covering the NFC Championship and the AFC Championship. Not much else to cover in this sports world. Here we go. Alright, so this week, in every playoffs, there's a guy that's going to get criticized for something he did. This week, there was only one quarterback that was going to get heat if he lost. Mahomes won the Super Bowl last year, and he's young. He's a kid. So he wasn't going to get criticized. Josh Allen, he's in this is his second playoff experience, and he's a kid. Tom Brady has solidified himself as a GOAT. He's fine. Aaron Rodgers was going to get heat if he lost, and he's getting it right now. And as a Packers fan, I can clarify that he never gets heat for losses. It's always the defense or the coaching, and I agree with it. I think it's mainly the defense and the coaching. But I don't think this time you can't blame the defense. They had 3 picks. Matt LaFleur, 26-6 record. You can't blame any of those categories there. Here's what I never like making excuses about officiating. I hate it so much. But there are certain times where you can easily call it the officiating and it would make sense. Like the Saints pass interference call against the Rams, that made sense to be mad about. I think it makes sense to be mad about the fact that the refs are all let them play, it's alright. And at the end of the game, whoa, what are you doing holding him there? You know what he was doing? He was playing the defense that they had played on the Packers the entire time. They had 3 chances to capitalize on those 3 picks. But those were the controversial holding calls there. Or that they weren't called, but still. But like I said, I hate making excuses about the refs. It's so annoying. And I'm a victim of doing it. I mean, I play sports, and I've done it a lot before. But this falls on Aaron Rodgers more so than anyone. He was 1 for 7 throwing it to Adams. It seemed like he was forcing it a bit. He was 2 for 9 in the red zone. He played well. He played very well yesterday. 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, 101 quarterback rating. He played better than Brady yesterday. But he was shaky in the red zone, which has been the Packers' strong point all year. I am a little worried about him being 1-4 in the NFC Championship. And I feel like this was the most... Because we all know... The reason we know people like Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, and Deshaun Watson, the reason we know they're good is because they don't really have the best receiving core their entire career, and they still get great stats. Rodgers has only had 2 elite receivers, Nelson and Adams. This year, he only had 1 elite receiver, but he had a top 3 offensive line in the NFL. The second best outside linebacker in the NFL is Darius Smith. A top 5 corner, Jair Alexander. A great safety, Darnell Savage. Another great safety, Adrian Amos. Is it Amos or Amos? I don't know. Doesn't matter. Their linebacker core with Kirksey was pretty good. He had good help. But I mean, when you look at those other conference championship games, they were not his fault. They were not his fault at all. Adams and Nelson are the only strong receivers he's had his entire career. And I have to admit here that I did think McCarthy was a good coach. 1,000,000%, I thought he was good. And when he was hired by the Cowboys, I thought, wow, Cowboys actually did a good job there. But I don't think they did anymore. I think that was a a Rodgers ran franchise through and through. I think this is a Belichick-Brady situation here. I think this is going to be another landslide of a divorce. Rodgers is going to completely blow him out. It's going to be so one-sided. So McCarthy was not a good coach. We can confirm that now. And it's a quarterback head coach league. So Rodgers hasn't had very good help his entire career. And like I said, look at his stats. 3 touchdowns, 300 yards, 101 quarterback rating. He played well, but I mean, you gotta look in the red zone as well. I'm more of a big picture person, and look in the big picture. Rodgers had those stats. He played well. But you gotta look in the details here. He didn't play well in the red zone, which is pretty crucial. Also, he had a very crucial mishap. He should have ran it in for 6. He did it against the Rams last week. He's capable of doing it. So he did kind of mess up, and it does fall on him. But I was watching Colin Cowherd today, as I do. I think, I don't know if there's any new listeners right now, but the old listeners, or not, there's not really old listeners, because I've only done like 16 episodes so far. So, this is my 17th, I believe. But anyway, you guys know I'm a big fan of Colin Cowherd. I take after him a lot. I like, I do adjust some of the things he does, because I don't agree with him all the time, obviously. But today, he was really, really tough on the Packers to a point that was, I don't even think fair. I don't know if he meant to sound that. I think it's just like a certain amount of arrogance in him. I mean, like, I think eventually as an analyst, you do become very opinionated, and you do get that confidence up. I think that just shows how good of an analyst he is, because part of being an analyst is having confidence in what you say. And I mean, he was just so confident in what he said that it sounded so like tough to me. But I mean, what he was saying did make sense. I mean, you should be concerned with Aaron Rodgers. 1-4. He didn't play well in the red zone yesterday, but he played well overall, big picture. Here's where he had me. I was very mad, obviously. It was kind of a rapid reaction, like, shut up, and all that. But when I look at it now, it did make sense what he was saying. But then he fell off. He said that they were the anti-Chiefs. I can see the logic of it. I can see what he's saying. The Chiefs play very well when they're down. I mean, this is the 4th time they were down 10 and came back. 4 of the 5 playoff games with Patrick Mahomes. 4 of their last 5 playoff games have been, they were down 10, they came back. They were down 24-0 against Houston, came back. I think it was... What was the score in the Titans game? Doesn't matter. They were down 10. Then they were down 10 in the Super Bowl. They were down 10 against the Bills. But they play very well when they're down. But saying the Packers don't play well when they're down and Aaron Rodgers, it's insane. They were down 28-10 and they fought back. It was 28-23, and I think we should have won if... Oh, God, I hate saying it, but... Because I hate saying the refs are the problem. Alright, here's how I'm going to get you guys to not hate me for saying the refs are the problem here. There were definitely issues on the Packers' part. Packers made some mistakes. But say the refs kept going with the let them play personality they had the entire game, they would get the ball back with a minute and a half to go with the hottest quarterback right now and the best quarterback in the league this year. So, I mean, the odds of us winning the game were insurmountable. Even the field goal decision, it may have not been the best decision. The field goal decision may have not been the best one to do. It may have not been the right choice. But it would have worked anyway. It would have worked. And if I were LaFleur, I would trust the defense too. Because, I mean, Look at Rodgers, 2 for 9 in the red zone. He's forcing it to Adams a bit. He seems a little shaky right now. So do we want to trust the shaky Aaron Rodgers or the defense that just picked off Brady 3 times? Pick your odds here. But saying they're the anti-Chiefs is a little insane, I think. And Rodgers has some of the best comebacks ever. And can I just clarify, it's okay to lose to Tom Brady. And I don't think any sports analyst is saying it's not okay to lose to Tom Brady, but I just wanted to clear that up for a second. So the last 7 times the Packers lost a playoff game, it's been to a team that they lost to in the regular season before. So, this dates back to, I believe, 2014 or 15. Actually, I don't know. It doesn't matter. 7 of their last 7 playoff games, they lost to a team that beat them in the regular season. They didn't always crush them, but they beat them in the regular season. And it's always tough to overcome that. It really is. Tom Brady did it last week, but you got to think about it. Brady played the Saints twice already. Playing a team 3 times is a huge advantage for both sides. But when you beat a team, like when the Bucs beat the Packers, that gave them leverage if they ever met them in the playoffs. Because they know what they have to do to beat the Packers now. But the Packers have to figure out what they have to do to beat the Bucs. So it gave them a lot of leverage. And yet again, no excuses. The Packers were not as good as the Bucs. Alright. But, so here's what another thing I heard Colin Cowherd said that I didn't agree with. When you compare a quarterback like Aaron Rodgers or Peyton Manning, when you compare any quarterback to Tom Brady, you're throwing up a red flag. You're saying I have nothing to back up my point, so I gotta compare them to the GOAT. Comparing what Aaron Rodgers has done in his career to what Tom Brady has done is a red flag. You just want to say Aaron Rodgers you just want to prove that Aaron Rodgers is a Baylor just because he's not as good in the clutch as Tom Brady. And that's not fair. You can make Peyton Manning look like Carson Wentz when comparing him to Tom Brady. And yes, that's exaggerating, but still. You can make everyone is worse than Tom Brady. Tom Brady is the best quarterback ever by a wide margin. But here's what Colin Cowherd actually said. He said Brady won all 3 playoff games where he threw 3 picks. So that's he's trying to prove that that he overcomes things. But that's Tom Brady. You know, you compare Aaron Rodgers to a Dan Marino, a John Elway, Brett Favre. You can even compare him to a Peyton Manning. All those are fair. But it's not fair to compare anyone to Tom Brady. And I think Rodgers constantly fights back. And I heard Colin Cowherd say, I think it was literally last year after they lost to the Niners, oh, Rodgers isn't a fighter. Are you serious? This man could have left the Packers so many damn times and he didn't leave them. How many times did Aaron Rodgers have a chance to leave the Packers and instead stayed? And Cowherd literally said Rodgers is the most valuable player when he went on that rant saying he was the most valuable player. He said Aaron doesn't need the Packers.